Most people assume retiring on a boat is either incredibly cheap or unbelievably expensive. The truth is that one retiree can spend less than the cost of a typical mortgage payment, while another spends more than a luxury apartment, and both can be living an incredible lifestyle. Here is something worth knowing before we go any further. One of the scenarios we cover later costs around $2,375 per month, all in slip, insurance, maintenance, utilities, everything. For many retirees, that is less than they are currently paying for their mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and home maintenance combined. We are not going to explain that yet, but keep it in mind. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which scenario fits your retirement and how boat living compares to what most Americans are spending to stay in a traditional home. The final numbers surprise most people. Let us get into it. Before anything else, you have to buy the boat. At the entry level, $50,000 to $100,000, you can find genuine Liveaboard trawlers right now. The trade-off is age. Most will be 40 to 50 years old and require ongoing maintenance. The mid-range, $100,000 to $250,000, is where most serious retirement liveaboards end up. Boats from the 1990s and early 2000s with modern systems, washer-dryers, water makers, and generators. $150,000 buys a serious boat in today's market. Above $250,000, you get newer production boats, recent refits, premium brands, exceptional boats, exceptional ongoing costs. The key point most buyers miss: the purchase price is the beginning of the financial conversation, not the end. And this is where the numbers start getting interesting. Before we get into the full numbers, I want to know where you stand. If someone offered you the choice between a waterfront boat or a traditional house for retirement, which would you choose and why? Drop your answer in the comments. By the end of this video, your answer might look different. Once you own the boat, you need somewhere to keep it. And geography is one of the most underappreciated variables in the entire cost equation. In a small-town marina on the Tennessee River or the Great Lakes, $500 to $800 a month for a 40-foot slip. Gulf Coast, $800 to $1,200 a month. Florida proper, $1,500 to $3,000. Pacific Northwest, $1,200 to $2,000. Here is the insight that matters when we compare everything at the end. Location is a choice in liveaboard life in a way it simply is not when you own a house. If your marina costs feel high, you can move the boat. You cannot move a house. Insurance gets underestimated in almost every liveaboard budget. For a $50,000 classic trawler in protected waters, roughly $150 to $200 per month. For a $150,000 mid-range trawler with offshore coverage, $250 to $400. Above $250,000, $500 to $800 or higher. One important note: standard pleasure craft policies often do not cover full-time liveaboard use. Always disclose that the boat is your primary residence. The consequences of not doing so during a claim are not worth the premium savings. Most retirees get fuel completely wrong when they are building their budget. Most liveaboards do not move the boat nearly as much as they imagined. You find a marina you like, and you stay for extended periods. 2 or 3 significant cruises per year is realistic for most retirees. A marina-based liveaboard, $200 to $500 a month, averaged across the year. A seasonal cruiser, $500 to $1,500. A full-time cruiser doing the Great Loop, $1,000 to $3,000 depending on the vessel. This is why the displacement trawler suits retirement so well. 2 to 3 gallons per hour at 8 knots versus 20 gallons per hour on a twin-engine express cruiser. The choice of vessel determines fuel costs more than anything else. But wait until you see how maintenance compares to what most homeowners expect. This is the most important section in the entire video. There is an old expression in boating: owning a boat is not expensive every month. It is expensive when something breaks. The difference between boat and house maintenance is not the total amount. It is the unpredictability. Houses have expensive events too. A roof runs $10,000 to $30,000. HVAC replacement runs $5,000 to $15,000. Homeowners tend to categorize those as exceptional rather than recurring. Boat maintenance works the same way, just on a different schedule. Bottom paint. Once a year, $1,500 to $4,000 depending on boat size. $150 to $350 per month amortized. Engine servicing. $500 to $1,000 annually for a single diesel. Twin engines pay roughly double. Beyond that, you will eventually face battery replacements, plumbing repairs, electronics upgrades, and the occasional surprise breakdown. Budget 1 to 2% of the boat's value per year for surprises. On a $100,000 boat, that is $1,000 to $2,000 annually in reserve. Total realistic monthly maintenance, $500 to $1,500, depending on the age and value of the vessel. If you are enjoying this breakdown, subscribe to Boat Hunter. We spend hours researching boats, costs, and real retirement options, so you do not have to. What has been your single biggest unexpected home maintenance cost in the last 5 years? Drop it in the comments. These answers give people comparing boat costs to house costs a much more realistic picture of what they are actually comparing. Utilities are simpler than most people expect. Shore power runs $50 to $300 a month, depending on climate and AC use. Water is typically included in marina fees. Pump outs run $30 to $60 a month. Starlink plus a cellular backup plan runs $150 to $250 monthly. Total utilities, $300 to $600 per month, comparable to or lower than a traditional home. Food and daily living costs do not change because you live on a boat. What Liveaboards consistently report is reduced discretionary spending, not because they cannot afford things, but because there is nowhere to put them. The boat imposes a natural minimalism most people find unexpectedly freeing. Healthcare costs are identical, whether you live on land or water. If your plan depends on reducing healthcare costs by moving aboard, that is not a reliable assumption. A few hidden costs worth knowing before you buy. A marine survey costs $800 to $1,500. Safety equipment can add $1,000 to $5,000. A dinghy and outboard typically cost $3,000 to $8,000, and most new owners spend another $3,000 to $5,000 on upgrades during their first year. Now the section we have been building toward. 3 retirement scenarios. Real monthly numbers. Direct comparison to homeownership. The budget Liveaboard retirement. A $65,000 classic trawler. Gulf Coast Marina at $800 a month. Insurance at $175. Fuel at $200. Maintenance at $800. Utilities and internet at $400. Total, approximately $2,375 per month. Compare that to traditional homeownership. The current median mortgage payment exceeds $2,000 monthly before property taxes, homeowners insurance, HOA fees, and maintenance. All-in homeownership typically runs $2,500 to $3,500 in most American markets. The budget Liveaboard is cost competitive with homeownership, with a waterfront address and the freedom to move whenever you want. The comfortable Liveaboard retirement, $150,000 trawler, DeFever 44 or Bayliner 4788. Florida or Pacific Northwest Marina at $1,200 a month. Insurance at $300, fuel at $500, maintenance at $1,000, utilities and internet at $500. Total, approximately $3,500 per month, slightly above median homeownership costs in most markets. But this includes a larger, more capable vessel in a premium marina location. The equivalent waterfront lifestyle on land cost considerably more in virtually every desirable coastal market. The premium Liveaboard retirement, the Krogan 42, Grand Banks 49, or Nordham 43, in the $250,000 to $350,000 range. Fort Lauderdale, Annapolis, or Seattle Marina at $2,000 a month. Insurance at $500. Fuel at $1,000. Maintenance at $1,200. Utilities and internet at $600. Total, approximately $5,300 per month, above median homeownership costs, but below what comparable waterfront property in Fort Lauderdale or Seattle would cost to own or rent today. The question that ties all three scenarios together: what are you actually comparing it to? The Liveaboard lifestyle does not compete with median suburban homeownership. It competes with waterfront living. On that comparison, the numbers consistently favor the boat. A house gives you an address. A boat gives you a direction. The real question is not whether retiring on a boat is cheaper. It is whether the worth it freedom is worth it. So which retirement scenario fits you best? The budget, comfortable, or premium Liveaboard? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy real boats, real costs, and real retirement opportunities, subscribe to Boat Hunter. We will see you in the next one.